सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Janana. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. After discussing one Gajendra who was extremely devoted to Bhagavan, we discussed yet another very famous Gajendra, the chief of elephants called Airavata. Often it is said that Airavata had four tusked elephant. Seated on Airavata was its leader, Indra, who received the Mala Prasadam gifted by Mahalakshmi to a Vidyadhara Stri, who gave it to Durvasa, who gave it to Indra through the elephant, and that elephant happened to trample, and thereby Durvasa cursed that Indra would lose all his prosperity and youth. As a result of it, Indra lost his youth and prosperity, easily won over by the Asuras. He then requested Shiva and Brahma and then reached Ksheerabdi, where they presented their case to Bhagavan. And Paramatma said, don't worry, you will have to do the Samudra Manthanam with the help of Asuras. So how did that happen? This is where the Samudra Manthanam begins. Sandhanam kritavati danavaihi suraughe manthanam nayati madena mandaradrim भ्रष्टेस्मिन् बदरम् इवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ सुरौघे कृतवती sandhanam danavaihi. The Devas made peace with the Asuras. When the Devas made peace with the Asuras, they said, we have lost wealth and you also need more wealth. So it is better that we do Samudra Manthanam. So the agreement was we will do Samudra Manthanam. How will they do? That is when Madena Nayati Mandaradrim, they proudly brought that Mandara Parvatam there. Manthanam Asmin Bhrashte. And for the use of it, they had to use that as a churning rod. Then Manthanam Asmin Bhrashte. And then when it fell, Tvam Udvahan Khagendre. When that fell from that very place where they were carrying the mountain, that is when Bhagavan appeared, because they all prayed, Bhagavan, you were the one who gave this idea, but we are not able to execute it. You is the one who have to, you can only come and rescue us. So that is when Bhagavan appeared on Taksharudaha. See, while blessing Kardama Prajapati, he comes on Garuda. While blessing Dhruva Maharaja, he comes on Garuda. Then when he has to bless Gajendra, he comes on Garuda. Now when he has to help the Devas and the Asuras help in the Manthanam, he comes on Garuda. So, Tvam Udvahan Khagendre, he came on Garuda. Badaram iva vinihitavan sadhyaha. There is a tiny berry, it's called Badaram. When you have to take the Badaram fruit, will you bring the entire army, all the army and naval officers, come, we need to lift a berry? No. You just lift it like this and then throw it Probably, some people eat it this way as well. So as light as a berry. So when Bhagavan appeared on Garuda and had to lift that mountain, he lifted it like a berry, it seems. Badaram iva vinihitavan sadhyaha. Where should he place that? Payaf payodhau. In that ocean which is milky in nature, which is very white in nature. So milky in nature, payaf payodhau. So this particular mountain had to be taken. How did that sandhi happen? So initially, Bhagavan did say, Ahi Moshikavat Nyayena. If you had remembered in the previous episode, the last thing I said, there is one Nyayam. Ahihi Moshikavat Nyayam. So Ahihi Moshikavat is the understanding between the snake and the rat. Remember, the snake can always eat away the rat. But if the snake is caught somewhere, it will ask the rat, please release me from this net. One thing I assure you, when I come out of the net, I will not eat you. Though they are natural enemies, they have an understanding that for some larger benefit, they will not attack each other. So, Ahihi Moshikavat. Similarly, the Devas who sought a correlation with the Asuras said, yes, we have an enmity. We recognize that there is an enmity. But we will not hurl or hurt each other because our basic aim is to get wealth. Whatever is lost, whatever is hidden. So, Deva said, let's take the head part. What is that head part? They had to keep Mandara mountain as the very churning rod and Vasuki snake as the rope. So the Deva said, we will take the head. The Asura said, we will take the tail. But then the Asuras thought for some time, why should we take the tail? Do you think we are just worth the tail? We will take the head. So they said, okay, in a correlation, you'll have to agree. And they exchanged roles. So this is mentioned, Payaf Payodhau. Next Shloka, Bhaṭṭatiri says, Adhaya Drutamatha Vasukim Varatram Pathodau Vinihita Sarva Bijajale Prarabdhe Mathana Vidhau Surasura Istair Vyajastvam Bhujaga Mukhe Karo Surarin. He says, Atha Mathana Vidhau. Thereafter, the churning operation, the manthanam had to begin. Pathodau, in that particular milky ocean. Vinihita sarva bija jale. So before they could begin the churning, there was one thing that they did. They brought different herbs, very useful, very herbs that are mentioned in our Ayurveda Shastra, and threw it into the waters so that when the churning happens, these two get crushed. So, Vinihita Sarva Bija Jale. So, as these medicinal herbs were being churned, Prarabdhe Sati Taihi Sura Suraihi, by the Devas and the Asuras. Dhrutam Adhaya Vasukim Varatram, by holding the Vasuki as the churning rope, the snake as the churning rope, this particular manthanam had to happen. Tvam Akaroho Surari. Thereby, you placed the Asura, Surarin Akaroho, Bhujaga Mukhe Vyajat. Bhujaga Mukhe. See, when the Devas initially said, we will take the head, the Asuras got perturbed and said, we will take the head. It was an idea, because the Asuras who are already very avaricious, who will do things in a very wrong manner, they could be taught a lesson because they are standing on the side of the head of Vasuki. And head of Vasuki will have poison, and that will keep emanating, that is fumes. So only then will they realize that accept what you get in your life. If you try to compare yourself with the other person, forcing their choices on you, then that is not going to result in something which is beneficial for you. Like how Asuras failed. So Bhujaga Mukhe Vyajat Tvam Akaroho Surarin. So you place the Asuras very strategically in that particular location. Now the churning is set to happen. Let us see how the churning happens. Kshubda Drau Kshubita Jalodare Tadanim Dugdhabdhau Gurutara Bharato Nimagne Deveshu Vyathita Tameshu Tatpriyaishi Pranaishihi Kamathatanum Kathora Prishtham Tadanim Deveshu Vyathita Tameshu. Then the Devas were very much agitated. Tadanim Deveshu Vyathita Tameshu Kshubdadrau Nimagne. When that churning rod like Mandara Parvatam, Kshubdadrau Nimagne, it started drowning. See, they tied it with that Vasuki snake and started churning. That got loose. So the churning rod started drowning.
So Kshubdadrau Nimagne, it started getting drowned. That time Guru Tara Bharataha. How did it? See, if something has to sink, it should not be hollow. Because if it's hollow, it will float. So if it's not hollow and it is completely filled with, it's very dense, then it will surely sink. How did it sink? He says, Guru Tara Bharataha. Guru here means heavy, not the teacher. Guru means heavy. Gurutvam means being very heavy, large. Guru Tara Bharataha. Bharataha, it's heavy, it is large. So that mountain started sinking. Dugdhabdau Kshubhita Jalodare. So it started going to the deep depths of the Samudra place, which is Kshirabdi, the Milky Ocean. It started going to the deep trenches. Tvam Tat Priyaishi Pranaishihi. That time, you, as a very good well-wisher of these children of Kashyapa, Tvam Tat Priyaishi. Priyaishi, you are very kind to them. Pranaishihi, you are just like their Antaratma. Bhagavan is the Antaratma for everyone. The Devas thought Bhagavan to be very close. Pranaishihi Kamatha Tanum Kathora Prishtham. Kamatha Tanum. So what happened? Kamatha, which is tortoise, Bhagavan, when he saw that the Devas and Asuras were suffering because of the heavy weight of the Mandara Parvatam that was drowning to the trenches of Kshirabdi, Bhagavan appeared, took the avataram of Kathora Prishtham Kamathatanum, of a tortoise, of a Kurma, Kathora Prishtham, of a very hard back. He took that form. Kamathatanum Kathora Prishtham. Then what did that tortoise do? Over the tortoise's large, hard back was resting this mountain, and as the tortoise started pushing itself upwards, the Mandara Parvatam, which is used for Manthanam, also came out of the water so that the Devas and Asuras could see. Vajrati sthiratara karparena Vishno vistarat parigata lakshayojanena ambodhehe kuhara gatena varshmanatvam nirmagnam kshitidhara natha munninetha. He says, hey Vishnu, Varshmana, O Lord, with the body of a tortoise, Vajrati sthiratara karparena, whose body, now Bhaṭṭatiri praises Bhagavan in the form of Kurma avatara. He says, Vajrati sthiratara karparena, your body, your back especially, Vajradi sthiratara. Vajra here means diamond. It is harder than diamond. Vajrati sthiratara karparena. Your back was harder than diamond. Parigata lakshayojanena. He says, it extended for laksha yojanas. Again, there are two ways. Since these are avatars that didn't happen in the understanding of human realm, whether it was 1 lakh yojanas in length, 1 lakh yojanas in breadth, could be imagined. If it cannot be imagined, like how I said for Sahasra Shabdam, you can just say which was very huge, big, that's all. So, Parigata laksha yojanena vistarat is the extent of the tortoise. Kuhara gatena ambodhehe, to that which had gone to the deep depths, that particular Mandara Parvatam, as Kurma you lifted through your diamond-like back. Tvam unninetha, you lifted it up. Unninetha, ujjivanam, unninetham means to lift it up. So unninetha, and you supported. See, that is the greatness. Bhagavan just did not lift. He did not go away. He supported. He is the Adhara. Kshiti dhara natham nimagnam, nirmagnam, nirmagna shruti jala margana dasha, dakshanam vikshanaihi, says Vedanta Deshika. Nirmagna, that which got submerged, kshiti dhara natha. Those mountains, Kshitidharam, it is called Kshitidharam. It is believed that the mountains support earth. So Kshitidhara, that particular mountain, Mandara Parvatam, Natham, when that got Nirmagnam, it was you, hey Natha, hey Bhagavan, who supported that particular mountain. Now, what all emerged from that Samudra Manthanam processes? Who all came out of it? What did Bhagavan do to all of them? Who all received those gifts? All that in the next episode.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण